Hi guys, it's Dave from Game of the Day. I've been asked to do a video by Phil to put something together for you to show you how I film my games, and the setup that we have, they might kind of help you guys if you fancy filming your stuff and editing it, so forth, so on and so forth. Right, so let's start pretty simply. I'm in my Subbuteo room. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Give me a couple minutes to clean it up, but the main thing, and you can do this, they cost about £10 on Amazon. You can do the whole thing with a cheap tripod. Right, so we'll break this into stages. Now I'll clean my table, and to show you how I do things, let's break it down. So first of all, if you're doing it my way, you need pre-match atmosphere. Now, how you make pre-match atmosphere is it's all freehand. So if you've got a camera, if you've got a phone, I use a phone. I'm currently on a Samsung S9, due for an upgrade, which would be cool. So hopefully I can get even more HD over there good. But you do it freehand. So if I turn this round now, and I'll put some clips together. This is the start, and we're going to start by tunnel. A glimpse of the freehand work that I do, and so what I'll do to try and create a bit of drama is I'll create those little situations. At the end as well, I'll show you a couple of different kits that we use, because we've built like a little changing room. It's quite cool, you'll like it. And what we'll do now is we'll go through how you set up the main game on the tripod. Depending on your views and how you want to do it, this is a basic tripod setting. Sticking it at this angle. This is how I used to do quite a lot of stuff. So all I'm going to do is attach it now. And then you find, if you've got the room for it and the space for it, you find somewhere, like on a corner of a shelf or some MDF, if you can place it right, you can find yourself getting in most of the game. And this is how I used to. Now, unfortunately, my tripod's a little bit broken, but now what I've got it in is full setting. And if you've got a stadium panorama as well, this can help really well with your angles. So I set it up and I maneuver it. So it's pitch height, angle it to where I want it to be. I personally prefer it to be just so I can see the fence, and I can get the majority of the stand in for a bit of atmosphere. Now, you think this might get in the way a little bit when you're playing, and it kind of sometimes does, but all you have to do is turn it. Turn the tripod, and you get this lovely little atmospheric view, which is really good. Or, say, for example, if I'm playing a shot, let's just say I'm turning the camera, and from this side of the pitch I need to shoot. Let's get him in there. Let's get a ball. Problem is now, you can't see the player or what's going on. So it's a dead simple solution. Just pick up the tripod, move it, angle it, so you can see the player. Now we've gone through that, so what about key moments? So if I can't freehand the camera, so if I'm going to do like the game of the day, how I tend to work things is Division 2, I'll just film it and get on with it. Division 1, we'll play the games and, you know, I'll create little atmospheric things. But the one that we choose as game of the day is the one where I'll do pre-match entrances, more and more tunnel atmosphere, interviews, daft stuff. I'll try and make it like it's the proper match of the day. It's the, you know, it's the game you're watching, like on Sky Sports. It's the game to watch. So I'll try and put all the excess stuff in there. So for example, let's say we're in game of the day, and we've got a free kick. So we've got our players, we've got the wall. Here's another useful technique. If he's in focus for dramatic effect, move the camera up, tap the camera and get it focused on the distance, even if you do it to the stand, and then it moves and makes certain images clearer as you go. 1, him, now 2, focus on the wall, and 3, focus on the keeper. So that's a really good trick. If you tap your screen, it helps focus on different ones. But now, a mug. It's dead easy. So, I'm going to set my camera angle here, and I'm just going to leave my camera phone on the mug where I want it to be. So now I've got full free hands. Even if I don't like that angle, I'll move the mug. So I'll show you from here. Just move the mug. Balance the camera at the angle I want it to do against it, lean it against it. So I'm still not happy with that one, so what I'll do is I'll find an angle I am happy with, make sure I'm zoomed out. So I can now see the wall, the goal, but I can't see the player. So I'm going to keep moving it around, move it further back. And therefore now, if I angle it there, I can see absolutely everything that I want. Nice and easy. Not so easy to play the shot, but you get the angle you're after. Now that's one way of doing it for free kicks, but what about penalties? So if you're taking a penalty, the mug effect can be really good. However, if the keeper does save it or he rebounds off the post, you don't want the mug in the way because it's more likely, in my opinion, in a penalty other than a free kick, to then have that in the way and cause problems with your game. So, if you have a stand, I recommend you do this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the seating from a Zuego stand, because there's my penalty set up. Now I can either prop it up here, remove that, prop it up against the ab boards. If you've got fencing surrounds, you can prop it up, but alternatively, let the camera rest in the stand, have a bit of fiddling, and then you get that view. Another tip from me when you're doing this is a really good little angle actually. You'll enjoy this one. It might not work so well on the Zuego ones, it works very, very well on my Division 3 one. So if you've created yourself a stand, I made one out of MDF and it's got a flat roof and this works perfect. But you can use it pitch side, you can use it, if you can, balance it on the top of a stand, a tip kit floodlight or something similar. So the camera, you just balance it on here, let this thing do the trick and it gets you a lovely little angle, so I'll show you. Right, so we get our stand here. So let's say we're going to try and put it on top of here. We can use a bit of blue tack if we need to, or we can try and balance it, but for now I'm just going to hold it to show you. So I balance the camera here. I move the floodlight down to make sure it balances the camera. And then you can get this view. And if you stick it down, you balance it well enough. If you've watched my videos, you might see some penalties are filmed like this because it gets a great view of the ball going in the goal or the goalkeeper having a save. Works very well at ground level as well, so if we look here, just move it down, place it in. I can move it down or up depending what I need to do if I'm careful. I can move it around and I just have to press the camera to focus where I want to be. So this is another great way of filming penalties and free kicks if you haven't got a stand, but you've got the floodlight. And that's about it. That's more or less the tricks of the trade. Now I was going to show you how we do it at Chris's house. It's very similar. Essentially, it's a tripod, but it's the smaller one, you know, the legs that you can bend, and we'll bend it round, can't see, and we'll bend it round the table here. So it attaches, which means you create a little sliding effect. So if this is the tripod here, it can slide, and all you have to do is push it up and down the table. But what it's also got is it's got this little revolving thing on it, which is really cool. So it revolves from here, and all you do is just twist it that way, twist it this way, and it gets the right viewing. So I've got a standard view. I can just turn the top of it, and then if one of us is in the way, or if you want a different angle, or say for example because you can't always get a certain play down the wing, and you want that wing plane, you can move it, and then you can twist the top. So you can twist the circle like this. You can move it around. and then it gets your right angle. So that's how I film game of the day. And after that, the main thing for me is a couple of tips. One of them for me personally is, say if you watch Alan Crampton's World Cup final with Keith Little that filmed it, he had 3 cameras set up. That was a hell of a job to do, I imagine, for editing. But because I've got to throw this one out every single week, and I don't really have the time or patience to do that sort of thing, so I'll put it together. It takes a long time. I have to do 5, 10, I think I have to do 10 games normally a week. So what I'll tend to do, so if you want to do that and set 3 cameras up and have it and that nice posh editing software, go for it. Personally, I just use a camera phone, use video editing software. I use Viva Video on the camera. If you've ever seen our intro, there was one time when I forgot to take their watermark off and it's in the corner, it pops up. So I use Viva Video, they're pretty good. I use one camera to get all the effects in, and then I just cut it in to put what I want to do, put chants over it, put commentary over it, put all the music and stuff, Google if the home team's pre-match entrance music. So I go to the length to try and create a content like that for yourself. So it depends how far you want to go with this, how consistent you want to be. If you just want to do yourself a one-off, or you want to film the odd game or the odd highlight, hopefully there's something in here that will help you. But at the end, what I'll do now, as a kind of outro, I'll show you a couple of other things that we do that if you ever fancy going all out, I help you. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and keep on flicking.